Hi, everybody. We are live. If you guys watching me on Instagram, on YouTube, welcome. This is another episode of Coffee with Ksenia. Let me know if you guys can hear and see me okay, because today I'm going actually from a different place. So I'm online from my home station that I never used before for it to go live. So make sure that you hear me okay. Can you guys hear me, see me okay? Give me thumbs up in the chat. I see that some people are joining already. So, let me introduce myself for those who joining and watching me for the first time. My name is Ksenia Pro. I'm a photography educator, and here in my live series of Coffee with Ksenia, I teach you how to start making at least 5K a month as a photographer and get fully booked eventually. And today we're going to talk about a very important topic that I can talk for hours if you ask me, and that's how to create that perfect work-life balance if you are a full-time photographer, or even if you're not full-time but you do photography on the side. That's even more complicated probably. So today I'm going to give you 3 tips how to have a better work-life balance if you're a photographer without actually compromising your business. Okay, I see that people are joining. I love it. Can you guys hear me okay on YouTube? Let me know, because I see a couple of people on YouTube and I'm going live from my home station. So just let me know if you have any problems with the sound, or better yet, comment and let me know I can hear you, just so make sure that the mic is working and everything is going well. Okay. So for those of you who just joining us today, if you guys have any questions, we're going to talk, like I have a little bit of content and just collect some topic for today. But if you have any questions, whether it's about the things that we're going to be talking about today or something different, please leave your questions to the end. I will focus and I will dedicate some time to actually reply to everyone. And for now, I'm going to be focusing on the content because I have some things that I wanted to talk to you about. And for those who just joining me, welcome to Coffee with Ksenia. This is another episode of my life series. And here my goal is to teach you how to start making at least 5K a month or more as a photographer and get fully booked eventually. I'm also trying, my mission is to help you guys become better photographers and better business owners. And today we're going to be talking about 3 tips on how to create a better work-life balance as a photographer without actually compromising your business and still having and serving your amazing clients. All right, who's excited for today? Give me thumbs up in the chat, or just let me know, hey, we here and can wait to hear from you. Okay, so I'm going to start with saying there is never perfect work-life balance ever, okay? And I'm going to dive into the subject a little bit more today, but I feel like it's just the illusion of there's like this perfect life where you have this balance between your family and your friends and your business, especially if you're a business owner, if you're an entrepreneur. It's very hard to create the work-life balance for yourself. However, the way I see things, it's not about perfection. So it doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to work for you. And everybody's version of optimal balance will be different. We're going to talk about it a little bit more today. So it's very individual, because some people love to stay busy, like me. So I'm a type of person that I need to be doing and like acting all the time. This way I feel that I'm being productive and I'm actually doing something to move things forward. Other people will be more comfortable, having more downtime, and they need to recharge, and they value their, the time that they just do nothing or do the things that they really enjoy. So for everybody, it will be different. It will also differ depending on the what the life stage, like what stage of life you're in right now. So, and yeah, we're going to be talking about it in a little bit in more details in a few minutes. But the goal is to create freedom for you so you can choose your own hours, how much you want to work, how much you need to work, and how busy do you want to stay. So that's the goal, that you still have the freedom, that you're not that slave of your own creation, of your own business, which happened to me. I was trapped. It's a constant battle of, if you want to work more to make more money, or should you slow down and actually enjoy life without like having to work too much. So it's always a constant battle for anybody, either if you're a photographer, if you're just like a business owner, it's always the question. Okay. But again, like I said, I want you to create the freedom so you can choose your own like how busy you can stay, and so that you can still make 5K a month and get fully booked without sacrificing your health, your lifestyle, your family, and all of those things, and still enjoy life, right? Because that's the whole goal. So today we're going to talk about some of the strategies that you can use to help you create that ideal situation for yourself and your lifestyle, because that is important. Your situation will be different. The way that you see things, that will be different. So that lifestyle, that balance between work and how much you want to enjoy life, that's going to be different for everybody. So that's why today I wouldn't be able to tell you exactly how much you need to work, how many sessions you need to book, how many clients you need to take, because that's very individual. However, we're going to talk about how you can structure your day, and also how to make the decisions on those important things, like how much do you want to work, how many hours do you want to work, because I'll give you my tips so I can help you think in the right direction. And again, there is no right or wrong, there is the right for you in this moment. Okay, because remember that our thoughts, everything starts with a thought in your head, and then it leads to action. And actions, if you repeat them consistently, they create habits, and habits create your life. So that's why it's very important to, if you want to make any changes, I want you to start with changing your mindset and just the way you see things, the way you think, and the way you even look at your life situation and the way it's supposed to be. So once you create that perfect, like the way I want my life to look like this, then you have to figure out like what steps you need to take to actually start acting in the right direction. Okay. So once you change the way you think and make the decisions, then you can change what you are and your lifestyle. Okay. So let's talk about, why do we even want to create like optimal or perfect work-life balance? If you have somewhat, optimized work-life balance, first of all, that allows you to live the life to the fullest. That allows you to get more life experiences in different areas, whether it's the relationship, travel, trying different foods, or doing music, doing, all the things that you actually enjoy aside from work or aside from photography, right? You can learn different things as well. And that's going to give you like more of a rich life experience. And that inevitably will make you more creative. If you are already a creative person, once you get that inspiration from different sources, that's going to fuel your creativity even more, and it's going to give you more resources. It's in also like creative sources to actually, be better photographer, be better creative. Also, having more time, like better balance, so not working all the time but actually focusing on some other areas in your life, will make you develop meaningful relationships, and those are crucial for our mental health. And if your mental health is not in the right state, it's hard to be productive at work, it's hard to create for other people, because we as creatives, like it's a lot, it sucks a lot of your energy to actually do something different, for especially if you're working on multiple projects. And it also, like if you feel like you balanced inside, it's easier for you to communicate with others. You have more patience for your clients. You can talk to them and like explain to them things coming from a place of reason, and not a place that, oh my God, I need money, or oh my God, I'm stressed out because I have too much work. So it makes you a better business owner, because you don't have to be, you're not stretched out too thin. So you can actually focus and dedicate enough time to your clients so you can serve them better. Also, having the better work-life balance will make you take care. I mean, you will have more opportunities, right? Nothing can make you do the things, but you'll probably have more time and more energy to take better care of your body and maintain your energy levels. So you will eat better, you will exercise, hopefully you will go out for a walk, because even though those are the basic things, this is actually the foundation of your, you know, existing in the human body. Because no matter how, you can starve yourself, right? You have like, you can eat junk food because you don't have time to cook for yourself or actually go get better food. You can starve yourself because you have no time to have lunch break, and I've been in all of the situations, and it's not fun looking at myself like 5 6 years later. So just, a couple of years ago I started creating a better routine, to actually taking care of my basic needs first before actually I can function on a different level, because this is the basis for everything. If you don't have enough energy, it's hard to actually work. It's hard to be a good, could take care of your family. It's hard to do anything. So even though those things that I'm talking about, they're so basic, a lot of people, and a lot of creatives, especially photographers, they'll deprive themselves of the basic needs. For example, I was doing long photo shoots outside without any access to bathroom, water, food. I was outside for 4 or 5 hours straight without having to go to the bathroom. That's why I was afraid to even drink a sip of water or to eat, and like there was no food. And it's not fun, but I trained my body. My body didn't crave those things, but it doesn't mean I didn't need those nutrients to actually, function well. So, and if you are a wedding photographer, you well aware that if you have like a 10, 12, 14 hour day and you just sit down maybe once to like eat and like have some water, that's the same type of level of exhaustion. But hopefully if you're a wedding photographer, you only do it maybe a couple times a year, so it's not like every weekend, for example, so you're not booked like every weekend, so at least you do it like once every couple of weeks. For me, I was doing it on a daily basis to myself, like 4 or 5 days a week, so that was a lot. So don't do that, please. Please take care of yourself first, so you can actually be a better person, be a better human. You can, function better, and you can better serve your clients, because nobody wants you to, deprive yourself of those basic needs. Also, um, having like an optimal work-life balance, whatever that is for you, will make you feel more fulfilled, and it will also lower your stress levels and your anxiety. So you would feel that you have everything like under control a little bit more, because you will see that your business is working out, but at the same time your relationships are not struggling, for example, or you still have the time to actually go to the gym and like take care of yourself, or maybe go meet with the friends and just have like social life as well. So that's very important. And even though that perfect work-life balance will kind of like go either way depending on the season in your life, and we're going to talk about it in a second. Ideally, I want you to be most of the time, most of the year, for example, I want you to be in the balanced state, whatever that is for you, just to make sure like you will feel like, inside, that okay, it feels like I work all the time. I don't get to see my friends. I had to cancel, 5 dinners only in the past month or so. So this is how you know that something is like a little bit off, and you need to kind of like take care and like focus on the other area. Also, having the optimal work-life balance will help you find meaning in more than just your work. And that's very important, because if something doesn't work out in your business, in your photography, and it always like, we always go through like ups and downs as creatives, especially. We're like, oh, I love everything that I do, so amazing. And they're like, I suck, or I don't have any clients. And then they're like, oh, I have so many clients. And then I have no clients at all. So we're constantly going through like ups and downs, and that's normal. That's like the growth hopefully goes up eventually. But if your happiness depends only on your performance at work, it's hard to, stay positive and stay like balanced with your emotions, because if something doesn't work out at work, you have nothing else, right? So you need to fill other areas of your life. Again, like it's just good for mental health. It's just good to help you stay balanced and actually be a better person. Okay. How you guys feeling? Sine sends me thumbs up. Okay, if you guys have any questions, you can leave them to the last. Today we're talking about the work-life balance as entrepreneur and as a photographer. So we just talked about why you want to create the optimal work-life balance, but now let's actually talk about how to do this. And like I said, there is never the perfect combination of how much you need to work and how much you need to focus on other areas of your life. And it's different for because everybody's so individual. But it's important to understand what are your priorities for now, for example, for this year or for the next 5, 10 years, and make progress to achieve those goals that you have. So step like tip number one, I actually have more than 3 tips, okay? Because when I started, because it's a big thing for me because I struggle with work-life balance all the time. That's why I wanted to share some of the pointers that helped me throughout the years to actually get at a better place, so that you don't repeat my mistakes, especially if you're a younger person. You feel like you will have energy forever. It's easier for you to work extended periods of times, and it feels like, it doesn't affect you, but oh, it does. So I want you to be better to yourself, and let's start with setting your priorities and managing your expectations, okay? Expectations of yourself and expectations of your family, of how you need to act around them and how you need to perform your duties, your family duties, right? Because one thing I'm going to tell you, it's okay if you work a little bit more some periods of times, especially if you're starting your business. Obviously, it's going to require more of your time and attention if you want to get it off the ground versus when you have your business for like 6 years and you just like maintaining it or maybe growing it a little bit, but it's not the same as starting a new thing. So also if you already have your clients, for example, there's still going to be seasons. So there's still going to be ups and downs. So for example, maybe you would have more clients in like October, November, December. That's how I am. That's like the busiest time of the year. But then maybe your January would be a little bit slower. So that's why it's important to know, okay, so I'm going to be super busy these months, but I need to give myself a break maybe in the middle of summer and just take a little bit of some of the downtime so I can focus on my family, so I can see my friends, so I can travel, so I can do things, okay? And you can be a little bit proactive this way so that it doesn't feel like okay, I'm working, I have no break at all, because that's not good. Like you're losing your motivation too, because you feel like you're like always on the edge. And it's not fun. So like I said, we're going through seasons not only throughout the year or within the month. It could be like 1 week that like super busy, but other 2 weeks will be like a little bit slower so you can take a break. But also throughout your life. For example, if you have a family and you have like younger kids, obviously this is the season of your life when you need to focus on your family a little bit more than your work. It's hard to combine both. You can do both, but it has like smart logistics behind it, okay? Because I was growing my business while I just had my baby basically. So it was super tough and I didn't know how people are supposed to do this, but creating the teamwork with your family, with your partner, that's important. That's what we're going to talk about in the next couple minutes. So if you guys want to learn more about how to actually start making 5K a month or more, get fully booked, I have a special invitation for you. So I'm actually hosting a free live event this Thursday, March the 10th at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And it's called My Secret to a Successful Photography Business. So there we're going to be talking more about, how to start and grow your business and all those questions that you ask me all the time about the strategies behind it and something that's actually worked for me personally. If you want to join, click the link in the description if you're watching me on YouTube. If you are watching me on Instagram, there's a link in my bio. So make sure to sign up, go register for the event, and hopefully I'll see you Thursday, March 10th at 4 p.m. It's completely free, it's online. We're going to go live at 4 p.m. and I'm going to talk to you. I'm going to answer all of your questions as well. There's a survey that we have, so you can fill out the survey and, answer your questions and share your struggles, so you can actually create the content specifically for you. I know a lot of people already did that. So thank you so much, you guys, for sharing your information and your struggles, so I can actually help you during the event. And you're always welcome to ask me any questions. So tip number 2 for creating better work-life balance is actually teamwork. The photographer's son says, hello, greetings from Peru. Hi. So tip number 2 to create better work-life balance is teamwork, especially if you are, in a relationship, if you have a family, if you live with your family, if you like maybe living with your parents. It requires teamwork because people have expectations of you, things that you need to do, maybe around the house, or you need to actively participate in the relationship, because relationship doesn't work if you just like, don't talk, don't communicate, or don't see each other. The relationship dies. So if you want, grow your relationship and build it like for long term, you have to focus on those relationships as well. However, like we said, if we're going through the season of active growth, so that you need more attention, more focus, more time inside your business, and that will happen to you. It will happen to you when, especially when you're just starting out, or maybe at some point when you're getting like very busy. Talk to your family, talk to your partner, and explain, hey, so I'm working on this project, or I expect that it's going to be like very busy at work. I have so many clients, and actually I think it's going to be good for us, for our budget, because it can bring more income. However, I need your help. So let's figure out the schedule, who's going to take care of the kids, for example, or how we're going to do this, when we're going to go, do have some social life together without compromising my work. So once you agree, you set the expectations, you kind of like sign under that agreement. Obviously, there's no agreement, but at least you make your partner aware and you agree on the hours that they allow you to spend inside your business. But they already know that you're not just, ignoring them, or, you're not just ignoring your family, but you actually just focusing on your business for now. But it doesn't mean that, you're not interested in building the relationship and maintaining the family balance. Okay. So also the same goes if you have some social life. So if you are used to meeting with your friends, there's a group of friends, and maybe and like often when you focus on your business, it's hard to kind of like keep going and seeing people too many times, because you have so much time that you need to spend on building your business. Again, just talk to them and say, hey guys, I love you, I still want to hang out with you, but right now I need to focus on this thing, so I'm probably going to skip a couple dinners, or I will not go to this trip with you. But I promise you, like in 3 months, it's going to get a little bit better, so we can actually hang out together like we used to. Again, as long as you communicate with them, so you're not losing those relationships, because often you would hear like stories of, business owners, entrepreneurs, they just like shut everybody down without explaining themselves. And that's how you lose friends, you lose relationships. And that's, I don't want this to happen to you. But also, the other thing that could happen once you start growing your business and like focusing, your interests change. So you change. And sometimes the circle of the people that you kind of hang out with and you're interested in actually building relationships, that could change as well. So you may not be interested in hanging out with the same people. So that's okay, because you're kind of like evolving, and the circle of people around you will evolve with you as well. So that's okay if you don't see your older friends who are not on the same level as you are, for example, like you don't have any shared interests. So it's hard to maintain those relationships, or some of them maybe even like pull you down if they're like making fun of your business, or they're not believing in you, and you don't really want to be around them. So that's okay to not hang out with them. It's totally fine. You are your own person. You can choose the people that you that actually uplift you and bring you up. So I had to let go of some relationships because I didn't see any reason of why I would want to maintain them, because like I didn't feel like it was beneficial for me. So make sure that you surround yourself with the people who actually uplift you and inspire you. Okay. And it could be like other business owners like you, it could be other photographers, other creatives. That's going to be maybe your new crowd in a way. But also, tip number 3 on how to create better life work balance: make sure to still have me time. Okay. What is me time? Me time is when you're not doing actively anything for your work, for your business, or learning photography or anything like that. You're not also actively being a mom, a teacher, a wife, a sister, anybody. You're just doing the things that you like for yourself. It could be anything. It could be just to walk by yourself, or maybe like listening to a podcast that you really enjoy. It could be just like you can just go take a nap, right? Or you could go to the gym and just like focus on your health, your body, your workout. So anything that personally brings joy for you. It's not for your friends, it's not for anybody, it's just for you. And that's very important, because during that time it could be just a quiet, you can just like sit and like be quiet and read a book or something. But during that time, even though I know you're going to tell me like I have no time to make me time, and that's how I am, but I still have to do it. And it may not happen every day, but at least if you have like a few times a week, if you have that window of time where like nobody's going to bother you, it could be early in the morning, it could be late at night, it could be in the middle of the day, it doesn't matter, but block that time for yourself. Don't take any calls, like ignore everybody. This is the time for you to do you. Okay. Because why is it important? It's not like you being selfish, but this way you will not lose your identity as a person, as an individual, because it's so easy to like lose yourself in being a photographer and being seen as a photographer all the time. So people will invite you to parties because you're a photographer, not because you're a good friend. Or you can lose yourself being a mom, and everybody sees you, oh, you just, she's just a mom, what else she can do, and so it's important to actually not to lose yourself in those roles that are assigned to you, but also remember of who you are inside, what actually you want, what do you enjoy. Because photography, as much as we enjoy photography, it's so easy for us to actually think that this is what we are. We just love it so much, and we do it for work, and we do it for fun sometimes, but you need to take a break once in a while too, because you might have other interests as well. So maybe go try a new hobby. That's something that you've always wanted to do, but you never had a chance to, or you always kind of like, you would brush it off as like, why would I do it? Like, I'm too old for this. Go do this, because this is how you, again, like you enrich your life with different experiences. And actually that's going to make you a better person. And it's going to make you a better mom, a better photographer, a better sister, better wife, like all of those things. As long as you feel fulfilled and like you're doing the things that you're actually craving to do. Okay. So number 4, and that's very important, to create better work-life balance, you need to set boundaries, and especially with your clients inside your business. Because how many times do I have to hear complaints from photographers saying, hey, this client is messaging me in the middle of the night, or they want to schedule an early morning photo shoot or things like that. But if you say yes too many times, you creating you kind of like letting them to control your schedule and control your life. And that's how I was. It's hard to say no, first of all. Second of all, you feel like, especially if you don't have a lot of clients, you feel like you have to say yes just to get a client in the door. And that's okay in the beginning, as long as you're not compromising your freedom and your boundaries and your schedule. Because at some point, once you say yes too many times to too many people, your life becomes a mess, because you don't have control over your schedule. They do. They tell you like what time you have to have a call, what time they're going to email. So you live on your client's time. Try to go to like any business like that, it's a little bit more established, and tell them how to do things. No, they have their own policies, and that's how I want you to be. So make sure to set boundaries for your clients, also for your family and for yourself. so that you know that you have work hours and you're not going to be, replying to any messages after that unless it's something super, super urgent. Nobody's going to die if you don't reply to them within, 2 minutes. Okay. Even if the house is on fire, it's okay if it's like 10 p.m. at night. It's okay for you to just go to sleep and reply the next morning. And how many times, you guys, so before I would just like reply right away, and if something seemed urgent, because there's this type of client that they're like almost like energy vampires. They just don't realize that they're taking your time. They want to message you, every minute of every day, asking all these questions over and over again. They don't realize that they're actually sucking out the energy out of you. And how many times did it happen to me that I did not reply to their first, urgent message? And then I ignored it for a couple hours. A couple hours later, they messaging me, "Oh, it's okay, I figured it out." Or like I didn't even have to reply. I just had to wait a little bit. Or they would ask me 3 more questions after that, and I would just reply to all of them in one message instead of going back and forth over and over again. So as long as you feel kind of calm and balanced inside, you don't have to like react to all of this signals that other people are sending your way. So that's how you stay kind of like balanced and calm and just like stay in control of your life and your work. Okay. So same thing with your family, and especially with your kids, unless they're like really young, so you can't really talk to them. Once they like 4 years old and older, you can actually talk to them and explain to them, hey, so, especially if you're working from home, you have to edit, for example, or do something, maybe, make some contracts for the clients and things like that. So say, hey, mommy needs to work now. So I'm going to work for an hour and then we're going to play, or like we go outside. Or, hey, I know, today we cannot hang out, but this weekend we're going to go to the zoo, for example. So just explain, like talk to them. They're reasonable. They may not like it, but at least try to make them understand and maybe promise them something. All they need, honestly, all your kids need is just your attention and knowing that they need it. So if you start like ignoring them and yelling at them, which I mean, it happens in my life sometimes, but I try to be reasonable with my daughter so she's not feeling left out, because that's their biggest fear, like mommy doesn't love me, and she doesn't want to talk to me or play with me. So as long as you talk to your kids and explain what's happening and promise them that, hey, well, you can say, hey, let's play for 20 minutes, but then you're gonna go do your thing and mommy has to work. So that usually works for me. Again, nothing is perfect, and I'm not saying that's gonna work for you, but at least try to find out the way to make them understand. Okay. So, tip number 5, or like thought number 5, as much as we want, you can't make all the money in the world. You can take every single client that comes your way, no matter how much you try. So, if you get too many inquiries, instead of trying to book everybody, just raise your prices. This way, you can filter out some of the people who will not be able to book with you, but also you'll retain some of the clients and you'll make the same or more money working with less clients. And that's going to help you make 5K a month or more, get fully booked even faster, because you will need less people to serve and you can charge them more. So if you feel like you're getting too busy, try to see if you can review your prices and like change your lifestyle that way, because this is the instrument that you fully control in your life. Your prices, you can make them up, you can change them any time of the week, any time of the year. So use that instrument, use that tool. And okay, hold on, let me see what else. Because okay, so another thought, like we said, you can't take every single client. And once you're getting to that kind of critical point when you like booked yourself almost solid, think about it. Every next client that you say yes to, that you kind of like take on as a client, that's going to be the time away from your family, from the fun things that you want to enjoy, from traveling, from enjoying life with your friends. And also often you will take away time from just sleeping, resting, and doing the things that you need for your body and for your soul. How many sleepless nights do you guys spend editing the pictures, or maybe like doing the admin work when everybody's sleeping? That was my life. And it's still, I mean, I still have to do it once in a while. But again, like I promised myself that I need my sleep. So only if it's like a really urgent situation, then I would like stay late, but I can't even physically make myself stay late at night. Even though before I would, I would stay up until like 2, 4 a.m. in the morning. I will get up the next day at like 7, 8, go again, do the work. So work all the time, working on the weekend. So now I don't work on the weekends. Very rarely I would have like a Saturday client like for a half day, and the rest of my shoots are usually throughout the week. So I usually have like 3 to 5 shoots a week. And then Sunday is my family day. I'm always off on Sunday. I don't do anything on Sundays. And I don't stay up late at night. And I'm very proud of myself for that, because that was not the case even just like 2, 3 years ago. So this is where I want you to be, and, figure out what's the best optimal combination of working and not working and doing some other things that you can enjoy. All right, so thought number 6, I want you to figure out how much money you need to make monthly to make you happy, to make you feel fulfilled. Like, you can make more, but will it make you that much happier? Or are you going to be just like, okay, cool, we made a little bit more money this month. Okay, so find that like perfect number. It could be 5K a month. It could be $10,000 a month. So figure out what's the number that's going to be like, I'm good. I think I'm set. I don't really need more, but if I have more, cool. So once you figure out that number, and once you see that you have, clients, your month is getting booked, for example, and you kind of like getting, so for example, you want to make like 5K a month and you already have clients for like 7,500 a month. You can stop at that point. Or if you already booked, you can say I'm fully booked. Or you can choose to work more that month. That's your decision. You have to own it. You will need to spend more hours working. However, I want you to create some space maybe next month, or, you can have, like I said, we can have like a very busy week, for example, but the next week I want you to take it easy. First of all, you need not only to shoot, but you need to serve those clients, meaning you need to go back and forth in the emails. You need to send them contracts and like do some like prep work and admin work, and also edit and deliver the images, because sometimes it's easy to like, oh, I'm going to book this and that client, but then when is the time when you're going to edit the pictures? This is when you have the sleepless nights and you're like, oh my God, what I do that takes so many clients? What have I done to myself? So again, like, it's okay to have busy seasons. For example, end of the year, during like all the holidays and like fall sessions and all that, you could be very busy, but then create some, some quiet, some slow time for yourself later on. So for example, this year I took 4 weeks off. It was like, late December, early January. So I took like first 2 weeks of January, last 2 weeks of December. I didn't have any clients. I mean, I still had some work, some like quiet work, what I call, so editing and like some admin work, but I didn't have to physically go anywhere and see clients. So that helped me to recharge. And a lot of photographers actually take that time off, because in the end of the busy season, it's just like you dying. You just like, I can't see anybody anymore. If I have to do one more session, like I'm going to throw up. So again, be mindful of your energy levels, and especially of your creative energy as well, and see if you're getting annoyed by clients, or you can't really create. You like getting in that state when you're like exhausting yourself. You need to slow down. Okay, so number 7 and the last one. So we figured out how much money you want to make, but also figure out your capacity. How many clients, how many hours can you actually work in a month or in a week? And how many sessions can you offer in that time frame? Because once you go past that number, again, just be aware that you're going to have to work extra hours. Where do you take those extra hours? Especially if you have a full-time job, right? 9 to 5, then you have a family, and then you took like, I don't know, 5 shoots this weekend. where are you going to take that time to actually edit those pictures? That's going to come off your evenings. It's going to come off your, maybe like you're going to have like a sleepless night or two just to serve all those clients. It's cool to be making all that money, but be aware that there's another side of things that's going to come and bite you in your behind. So I want you to be mindful of that as well. And not a lot of people are talking about that and it's easy to kind of like say yes to a lot of things because it's so exciting and so fun, and who doesn't like to make money, right? But at the same time, you can always make more money, but you can never make more time, because time is the only resource that's not renewable. You cannot just go like request a refill on your time, right? So we only have like so many hours, minutes, and days in our life, and nobody knows how many exactly. And you have so many breaths that you can take during your lifetime. So I want you to be mindful of how you spending your time, and be mindful of your energy levels, and be mindful of, are you actually enjoying your life? Because it's not all about the money. You can have all the money in the world and you can still be miserable. So the goal is to actually create wellness, create balance, whatever that means for you. And again, like I said, it's okay to go through seasons of being like too busy and then having a slow time. Or maybe for someone else, it could be like more steady if you really need that structure in your life. You are the designer of your own life, of your lifestyle. So I want you to just like be mindful and focus on the things that matter. Okay, so that's my message to you today. If you guys watching this video on the recording, and if you made it to the end, please make sure to comment under my YouTube video and say it was very helpful, and that would make me really happy as well. And make sure to give me thumbs up and subscribe to my channel and share this message with other photographers, other creatives. If somebody needs to hear it and if it could help somebody, that would be like the best gratitude for me. That would be the best outcome, because here my goal is for photographers to start making at least 5K a month or more and get fully booked, but also become better photographers, better business owners, and create the lifestyle of your dreams. So if you guys have any questions, I'm here with you for another few minutes. I know today was like a little bit less about the actual photography, but more about kind of like things that not a lot of people talking about. But I think it's actually more important than knowing how to take pictures, because you can get that information almost anywhere. But once you do get your clients, it's important to not to lose yourself in your business. Let me see if there's any questions. Okay, no questions on Instagram. Okay, if you're watching me on YouTube, Instagram, please make sure to submit your questions. I'm going to be here for another like 10, 15 minutes. So I'll be happy to talk to you guys, and let me know if it was useful today. I don't know if you joined, if you caught up like the whole episode, or you just joining us, but I'm here to talk to you. So please do ask me anything at this point. We're going to be talking anything about photography, the business of photography. I'm here to talk to you. Let me see who's joining us. There's quite a few people. Okay, a lot of photographers. Love it. Okay, YouTube, send me your questions. Everybody's so quiet today. And by the way, you guys, if you're watching in replay or if you just joined us just recently, I'm also going to be doing like a live event this Thursday. It's going to be completely free. It's focused to photographers. So we're going to be talking about my secret to successful photography business. The event will be this Thursday, March 10th at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you want to come join me, and I'll be sharing my strategy on how you can actually start making 5K a month or more as a photographer and get fully booked. If you want to join the event, make sure to follow the link in the description to this video on YouTube, or you can click, if you're on Instagram, click on the link in my bio to go register, and I'll be happy to see you there. And also, if you're watching on YouTube, make sure to follow me on Instagram at Ksenia Pro Education, just so you can get all of the live updates about all of the events and like when I'm going to go live. This is where I post announcements on my stories. You can also ask me questions, and I ask you guys questions, so I interact with you in the stories. And my team is posting like snippets of those videos as well. If you want to follow and see kind of like the behind the scenes of my work, of my studio, and I share like a little bit of my personal life, follow me on my main account, which is Ksenia Pro Photo. This is where I post my recent work. And again, in the stories, you can follow just my journey and see what's happening in the studio currently. Okay, questions. Okay, guys, it's not fun if you're not asking me questions, because I like talking to you. Okay, once I'm asking, any tips for on-location lighting, balancing flash and ambient light? So I don't use flash often on location. Okay, you mean indoors, outdoors? It doesn't matter, I guess. But like, if you go outside, like outside, I try to shoot purely with natural light, unless it's like a sunset or like nighttime photography. So that's how you learn how to find the best lighting. So there's a video on my YouTube channel how to find light like in the middle of the day. So you follow your hands. So actually, this is the cool lighting here. But what do you do if you want to find light outside? You just use your hand. You look at it, and you go turn around, because you have like on your hand, you have all of these bumps, and you will see like how much texture you see basically on your hand. So like here now we have, I mean, the light is pretty soft still because I have blinds, but there's a direct sunlight because the sun is setting down, and you will see like split lighting on my face, and you will see on my hand again, it's like side split lighting. So you would see like a lot more texture like this. If you turn your hand this way, the light's going to be much flatter. And if you have cool lighting effects like here as well, you will see like how it's going to change if you move your hand. So that's why it's very easy to do this, like to find like the direction of the light. If you're asking like for lighting situation on location indoors, for example, where you need to supplement the available light on location with flash, what I do a lot, I use like the strategy. Okay, first you take a shot, especially if you need to balance available like ambient light with flash. Step number one, especially if you don't have a lot of experience, it's easier to go step by step. Take a picture without the flash, with your camera, figure out the settings. It has to be like a little bit underexposed, just because you're going to bring the flash in. So find the exposure. If you're using flash, be aware of the flash sync speed, right, with the camera. So it's going to be under 2/50th of a second. So I usually shoot around 160 and 200th of a second, because otherwise you may get like unless you're using the mode that's called high speed sync. But let's not go too much into the details. So shutter speed 160. F-stop will be like, I don't know, 2.8 to 4.5, depending on what you're doing. Most of the time, where you're indoors, you need to bring more light in. So unless you're shooting like a group of people, you need everybody to be super sharp. I would open the aperture a little bit more just to get more available light in, and keep the ISO lower this way as well. So, but the ISO will be still pretty high. So I'm comfortable shooting when I'm indoors at like 1,000, 1,250 sometimes. But obviously I want to keep it lower as I can until I can't. Okay. So because for me, I like to balance. I still like to use a lot of, daylight and add a little bit like a flash. It's a different story if you completely dark room, or if you're lighting like a nighttime reception for a wedding. That's going to be like a little bit different. But for example, like here, we are here now, we have some daylight coming from the window, but it's not enough maybe for my face. So you want to add a little bit of light to make it a little bit poppier, but you still need that available light to light the rest of the scene, like the background, because you only have one flash, for example, so you will not be able to light everything evenly. So you would have the natural light like lighting the whole scene, and you will add a pop of light into my face. So step number one, again, like take the test shot, figure out your setting, make it a little bit underexposed, like, I don't know, 2/3 of a stop, maybe tops. and then start adding the flash. Turn it on and start figuring out how much power you need. So I use flash. You can use ETTL mode, so that may be easier for you. I use it on manual because it's just easier, because I don't need to be worried about camera meter and all of that. So I just tone it to the power that I need. So, and I try to keep my flash power as low as possible. So usually often it's like 1/64th, 1/32nd, 1/16th of a power, just so I can use it, a little bit faster, because the recharge time depends on the power of the flash. So the lower the power, the faster the flash will recharge, and you will not overburn your flash, and the battery will last longer. So all of those things. Okay, a lot of technical details, but it's actually very simple. And then you start testing like how much flash you need. And oftentimes indoors, I would bounce the flash off of the white walls. So if you have walls like this, that's actually perfect, because that's going to create a lot of kind of like soft, even lighting. And imagine a huge wall. If you point the flash into the wall, it's going to create a huge soft box, because the whole wall will be somewhat like a source of light, of bounce light. And bounce light is, one of the types of the softer light. Okay, so hope that answers your question. Indoors, yes, so that's what we're talking about. Okay, so the photographer Sans is asking, I just wanted to congratulate for your good work and your spectacular. Happy International Women's Day. Thank you so much. Happy International Women's Day. How do you do when you fall into lack of photographic inspiration? Well, that doesn't happen to be very often, but if you feel like you're like stuck and you're doing things over and over again, what helps me is to work on a personal project, because there's always, especially if you like do photography as your main job, as your main source of income, it's hard to create, and you're still passionate about photography as, as a hobby, if you will. So I'm still passionate about like fashion photography. So when you work for somebody pays you to create pictures, you have less creative control, right? So you feel like you have to do the things that they ask you to do, and often you find yourself doing the same things over and over again. That's when you get to that rut, like, oh my god, I can't take any more pictures of this girl in this dress in this location with this light. So that's when it's time for you to do something different. You can either take a break from photo shoots altogether, but sometimes it's hard to do. Instead, create the time so you can actually work on a personal project. Maybe do something completely different, or do something creative. If you don't have inspiration, like, where do I get inspiration? Other photographers work, and I'm not saying you need to copy anybody, but just like see what other visual tools people are using, and see if you can, especially like, you will always find something different that you've never tried before, and it will be challenging. So maybe you wouldn't try it with the actual paying client, but you can find a model or somebody who would like just, play with you, and they will experiment with you and try just a new technique, and see it may be a cool thing to add into your like everyday routine, right? Because I'm sure you have your own, tools, and just like how you do things, how the light that you shoot with, the lighting schemes and the poses that you do over and over again, because you're so comfortable and they just work for everybody. But once in a while we need to challenge ourselves, because otherwise it gets really boring, and you're like, what's the point? It's not even fun anymore. So either take a break and just do something different, or maybe so photography, as much as it is about taking the pictures and editing and all of that, it's also, for me at least, it's about creating concepts, creating like different props, because I DIY a lot of things. I like to paint, I like to like just, I don't know, DIY things. So maybe focus on that side of your photography. Maybe think about like creating a couple new backdrops or new props, and see how like where you can like shop for things. That's, again, you still being creative, but it's just in a different capacity. And again, it's going to help you. Maybe something like finding a new prop will inspire you to actually shoot with it. So those are the different things that I would do. Hope that helps. Hope that answers your question. Okay, Winston says, thank you for the tips. Yes, absolutely. So any more questions, you guys? Let me see if there's anything on Instagram. Instagram is so quiet. Everybody is super quiet today. So let's do, okay, we have 5 more minutes, you guys. If you have anything else that you want to ask me, please let me know. Type in your comment. If not, just at least say if it was helpful for you today. That would encourage me to create more videos for you. And make sure to share this the video when it's going to be in the recording on my YouTube channel. Make sure to share it with your friends, with your photography friends especially, or creatives, so we can spread the word and hopefully I can help more people. And the information is power. Okay, the photographer sounds full frame or mirrorless. Okay, so, well, I kind of do all of them. So I shoot with R5 right now, Canon R5. It's full frame mirrorless, but there is a way to make it crop as well. So I use that to my advantage sometimes. And like I have a Sony S7R3 as well, where it's like mirrorless, it's full frame. However, there is a mode, like there's a button that you can just push and it makes it crop. So why would I switch between full frame and crop? When I have just one lens, for example, it's a prime, I don't know, 50 millimeters 1.4, and then without changing my lens, by just going, to the crop sensor mode, all of a sudden, instead of 50 millimeters, I have almost like 85 millimeters with the same lens without changing anything, but one push of a button. Yes, it changes the size of my file, but the size of my file is already big enough when it's like full frame. Especially in Sony camera, it's like 7,000 pixels across the long side. It's like way too much for everything that I do. So I don't mind having smaller files for some of my pictures. Again, I don't use it often, but sometimes it really helps because you can achieve a creative effect without switching too many things and using the same tools. Maybe you don't have that 85 millimeter lens, right? But you can use on your camera, you can make one. And the same thing, like recently I just did a shoot with like 70 to 200. And when you're at 200 and then you go to the crop mode, it goes to, I think, almost 300, because it's like 1.6, the difference. So you can calculate, like I'm not too good at this. So you can see how many millimeters I got from just switching from full frame to crop. But again, like there's no right or wrong. Full frame will give you a little bit more, I don't want to say quality, but it's just like it's more true to what the film photography used to be. So now I feel like it doesn't make as much difference. However, when you're shooting like indoors in a tighter rooms, it's just easier to use full frame because your lenses are not going to be kind of like zoomed in because you're using crop. So that's the big difference. Okay, any other questions? But if you only have crop sensor camera, it's good enough. Like it's actually great. So it's the question of what you can do with it and like how you're going to use it creatively. So use the tools that you have. It's not like you're going to be a better photographer or take better pictures if you update to like a full sensor camera. And we kind of talked about it. I had the live about photography equipment and what do you need to buy, or better yet, what you don't need to buy, because it's all about how you can use the tools and use your creative mind and decisions to make beautiful pictures with what you have. So any other questions? I can take one last question, you guys. So if you're curious about anything, please do let me know because I love to take questions. And if you want to bring a friend or two next time, please do share. Make sure to follow me on Instagram at Ksenia Pro Education and my main account, Ksenia Pro Photo, where I share just like behind the scenes. But Ksenia Pro Education is actually focused for photographers specifically. So make sure to follow me there and make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Give me a thumbs up under this video. Comment if you have questions. I read through all of the comments and reply to them myself personally. So I'll be happy to help you this way. All right, so Instagram will gonna shut us down because it's been almost an hour. So one last question. We have 2 more minutes. Okay, if anybody is brave enough to talk to me today. Jersey Girl sends me thumbs up. Okay, thank you. All right, guys, I think that's it for today. So I'll see you next time. Actually, gonna see you if you want to join me on my live event next Thursday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll be happy to see you there. To sign up to register, go to my link in bio on my Instagram account, Ksenia Pro Education. Click the link in bio to register, leave your email. So we'll send you all the information in the email. If you are on YouTube and you don't want to go to my Instagram just yet, there's a link in the description to this live video. If you're watching a replay, if you missed the event, look out for the updates for the new one, or we're probably going to be talking about some other things that we'll be doing. Okay, so the photographer Sans is asking, Octobox or Umbrella Deep? I mean, I I used to shoot with Octobox a lot. Now I'm shooting with the parabolic umbrella. I like it better. For me, it's more about the size. So I just and it's like the comfort level as well. So if you used to one or the other, it's just more comfortable for you to be doing like the same thing over and over again. So I'm using like a large light source now because I love softer light, and I do shoot with a lot of women and pregnant women, so I like to create like a little bit softer light, but it's still somewhat focused because my umbrella is pretty deep. So I like doing that right now. That's my jam right now. But I switch. I actually have like a deep octabox as well, so it's a little bit sharper light, like harsher light. It's a little bit more focused. And just recently, like yesterday, I did male portrait, which I don't do very often, but it was pretty cool to use it because it creates like a little bit sharper light. And I didn't use the diffuser. It's silver inside. It's pretty deep. It's pretty big still, but it's more like deeper rather than wider, so it doesn't give you like flat kind of light. It gives you like a little bit more focused, kind of like, I don't know how to say it, focused light. That's the best way to say it. So it created like a little bit harsher shadows and like split lighting. So it's pretty cool to use. And still, like I shoot in the studio, and the walls in my studio are white, so the light still bounces off of the walls unless you put flags. So it creates like a little bit softer. It's softening the shadows. So that was pretty cool to use it because I don't do that very often. I use a lot of like most of the time I play safe, and I use just soft light. So that's why I was like, I was kind of nervous. I was like, oh, will I do the right thing? And it's always like that with like when you do something that's a little bit uncomfortable, or you're like a little bit unfamiliar with the techniques that you're using, even though you've done it in the past, maybe you don't do it very often. It's normal to be kind of like a little bit uncertain what are you trying to do. But it all worked out. It actually looks beautiful. I haven't looked through the pictures. I didn't call the session yet, but I looked on the screen and it looked pretty good. So that was fun. So again, like challenge yourself once in a while. And we also created this lighting scheme that I've used like years ago with like 3 lights. I always shoot with 1 light tops and maybe a reflector most of the time in my studio for like most of my work. But this time I was like, okay, let me do something edgy, different, because we shot for, it was like a portfolio slash branding slash headshots for a pretty high level but like young edgy like entrepreneur. And I decided to create, so I needed like a mix of like modelly shots with something not corporate but like for work. So I was like, where do I find the middle ground? And I did this 3 light scheme with like 2 lights in the back, and they had the honeycomb, so it was like a little bit more focused. So it created like the rim light, and there was 1 light in the front. And I haven't done anything like that with like 3 lights in years. I used to use like more complicated lighting schemes when I started my photography, actually, because that's how I learned. It was like you have to have like the back lighting and the hair light and the rim light here, and it has to be all kind of like measured and perfect. But it's not like for everyday, photography, portrait photography, it's not very useful because it's like too many complicated things. So now I'm just doing things simple, whatever works, because it still looks beautiful. My clients love it. But once in a while, you need to challenge yourself. So that's exactly like where the inspiration comes from, because it's fun, especially when you achieve something that you don't do very often. That's pretty cool. All right. Thank you guys so much. I'm going to let you all go. Thank you for hanging out with me. If you're watching replay, make sure to give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I'll see you in the next one. So come join me live next Thursday at 4 p.m. If you want to register for my live event, make sure to follow the link in the description to this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Thank you for your time.